Welcome guys, let's discuss on where, let and const. These days the preferred method of defining your variables is let. Let's just cover it why. So I'll just rename this JavaScript file where let const.js, and in my index.html let me just refer this file, save it. Okay, let me define a variable with where a is equal to 100, and similarly I'm going to have where b is equal to 100. I'm going to create a function check types. Let me redefine my a to 20 and b to 30, and let's console.log. Let's use the backtick. My a is a and b is b. All right, let's just run it and see the behavior. Okay, didn't print anything. Sorry, so I haven't called the function. Sorry about that, guys. So let's just do a function call, save it, and refresh it. So my a is 20 and b is 30. So in this scenario, where and let are almost similar. You have a variable at global level, but also guys, observe one thing over here. If you're gonna do console.log outside the function, even then there would be, oh wait a second, yeah, so even then there wouldn't be any difference. It has overridden the global variable, right, which was defined over there, because we have initialized over here, but we have actually changed the value over here. So we have changed the reference. Now let me do one thing. Let me redefine a. So can I redefine? Let's just redefine where a and let b. That's just my redefining, and save it, and let's see what happens. So a is 20 and b is 30, so that is in my local scope, right, which is fine, but my global hasn't changed. So which means like you can redefine the variables, right? So guys, over in these scenarios you see there is no difference between where and let. So why do we have let introduced in JavaScript? Now I'll give you a very good example of it. So let's say I have an if else loop. I'm just going to, okay, if true, I'm just going to keep it if true because I just want to go inside this loop. Console.log. Let me do one thing over here. Let me define the variable inside this scope of block, right? So this is my block scope. This is my one block scope and this is my second block scope. In here, I'm going to define a variable c is equal to 20, right? I'm just going to do, if it is true, c is equal to 20, else you say c is equal to 30, and then you just do console.log. My c is, now let's see what happens. Will it print c? C is not defined. So guys, did you see that? So it is true, right? And my let c is equal to is 20, right? It is inside a block scope, so it is restricted at the moment. But let me change it to where, and then I will print c. Now it has printed. So that's the main difference between where and let when it comes to the scoping. So within a block, if you have noticed, when I declared let, right, it did not even see it, right? The outside my block, I cannot see that variable. But now that was the problem with where. So you define a variable somewhere inside a block, because you will have a lot of if else, you will have a lot of conditional statements when you are working in actual JavaScript projects. And when you try to print it, right, it will print as if the variable existed at global level, but actually it is at a block scope, right? So you end up messing up with variables. But when you define a variable as a let, right, and then you try to reuse it outside that scope of the block, it won't allow you. So that is where let has given us, has helped us to get rid of those issues that we have when we used to declare variables. So that is the most important difference, guys, between where and let, so which I've just shown you now. Now let's just cover what is const. So const is nothing, guys. Const, as the name suggests, is a constant value. So let's say if I just declare const d is equal to 40, and I'm just going to change it to 50 over here, right? And I'm just going to do console.log is b is b and my d is d. Save it. Yeah, you got an error. Assignment to constant variable. So const is exactly, similar to final in Java. So once you declare it, you cannot change the reference. Okay. Though I can just redeclare it. So this is possible, guys. This should work, right? The redeclaration shouldn't be a problem. Yes. So the redeclaration is not a problem, right? But if you try to reinitialize it, then there'll be a problem. So guys, there's a difference between declaration and initialization. Whatever I do over here, this is my declaration, and as soon as I use my assignment operator, that is my assignment to the variable or my initialization to the variable. That is all about the variables and the the main difference between let and where. Guys, hope it has clarified like why we prefer using let these days more often. Thank you guys. We'll cover another important topic in the next video. Let's stay tuned. Do like and subscribe.